And you thought Mississippi was a shithole before. Wait till Stone churns it on. This is Stone Cold on Stinker Madness. Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness. I'm your host, Justin. I've got Sam and Jackie here as always. How are you guys?
Well, you know, I'm kicking it. Oh, wait. I'm motorcycle.
Getting it started.
Yeah.
Churning it on. And we've got a very special guest here. It's Ryan with the Quiet Thinker blog. Ryan, why don't you tell us about yourself and what you do and your blog and plug the hell out of yourself.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm Ryan Fourier. I'm a fourth-year veterinary student at Michigan State University, aspiring novelist, and in my spare time I do a blog called Writing Through Vet School. I do bad movie reviews, I recap bad TV shows, I write about vet school, and just pretty much any other thing that comes to my mind.
What's your worst TV show that you've seen? What's the one that you're like, oh yeah, everybody should watch this because it's so crappy?
You know, the one that I'd say everyone should watch is Hail Honey, I'm Home, or Heil Honey, I'm Home, I should say. Where Hitler and Eva Braun live across they live across the street from a Jewish couple. But I'd actually say the worst one with like no redeeming qualities is Puchinsky.
Puchinsky. I think I've heard of Puchinsky.
Yeah, it's a police detective is killed on the line of duty and takes over a flatulent bulldog, and it's worse than a sitcom about Hitler tormenting a Jewish couple.
Yeah. That's a statement.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something, because we had this conversation, I don't know, like a month ago. And I remember when I was a kid, there was a show called Beans. And it was about this kid, and his dad was like in the CIA, and his dad gets exploded. And do you remember this show at all?
I don't. I'm looking it up right now real quick. I don't see it. What, do you remember like what year it came out roughly?
I think it's like in the 80s, like in the early 80s.
It's probably slightly before my time. I was early 90s.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember I was just a little kid.
How about Small Wonder? Did you ever watch Small Wonder with the android child?
You know, I didn't. I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of great stuff here.
Yeah, no, you should check out Small Wonder. That thing stinks.
It does. Oh. It brings up an interesting question. If there's more bad TV shows than there are bad movies out there. Because there's a lot of shitty TV shows that make it like 3 or 4 episodes, and then
I think Small Wonder made it a couple of seasons.
It might have made it a couple seasons.
Yeah, I thought The Knight Rider was like really super popular.
Hey, you shut your mouth about Knight Rider.
And I tried to watch that again because it was on Netflix, and I'm like, oh.
You don't like cars jumping over semi-trucks every episode?
Hey, Kit was awesome. Just, you know, whatever.
Well, speaking of things jumping over other things and super butt shit, Stone Cold, starring Brian Bosworth, the Boz, as we, I guess, like to call him. I don't know if anybody likes to call him that or if he likes to be called that.
Yeah, I think he likes to be called that.
This was your first time viewing Stone Cold, I'm assuming, Ryan?
Yes, it was. This is one of the few bad movies I've seen where I'd never heard of it before, so I was really excited to go in completely blind.
to go in Stone Cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And what were your initial thoughts?
Like completely initially, the first 6 minutes of this movie, I just kind of have written down over and over what's happening. This is, you know, I feel like a lot of movies, no matter how good the movie is, one of the big problems is just getting it into the action, you know, leading you into the story in the world. This movie does not have this problem.
No, it delves right into it.
Yeah, I assume we'll get into it more, but just off the bat, everyone should know that this movie, it takes about 3 seconds to go completely nuts.
And it does so by borrowing the beginning from Cobra.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the whole movie is essentially Cobra, because he's a super tough cop that's got to go under to find a underground bad guy ring who has obscure motivations, and he breaks all the rules.
Kinda. He doesn't. Well, Cobra doesn't have to go undercover though.
Well, yeah, I guess he has to take the lady away, but
yeah, and you know these people were not underground. They were pretty like, hey, we've got motorcycles and fuck you.
Yeah, they're very in your face bad guys. There's no skullduggery or covert operations with these guys. We're gonna ride into your town, shoot the entire thing up, cause some explosions, kill your mayor, shoot your mom, and then ride off while shooting at each other.
So I'm going to burn one of my questions now.
Okay.
I have like 10 questions, so I'm going to burn them as I go as well.
Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Okay, so my first question is, who the hell made the logo for this biker gang?
The colors.
Yeah, the colors and the jacket.
Do we even know what their name is, the biker gang?
The Brotherhood?
Yeah, that's like the name of every biker gang. That's like the underlying motif behind every biker game is we're the Brotherhood of evil mutants or whatever they want to be called.
There was an SS on the badge too. I didn't know what that was all about.
Well, they're obviously white supremacists.
Oh,
So they're Hitler tie-ins and all sorts
I
of shit
guess.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I just assumed, like, I know the Brotherhood, it's the Brotherhood of something, but I assume they didn't tell us because I kind of disagree with Jackie. I just think they're really great at staying undercover, and they're just so great at keeping their mysteries and their secrets. They don't even tell, like, their highest up members, and they don't want us to know after 90 minutes. Like,
what they're actually even called.
Yeah, I feel like it's the Brotherhood of something, but we just haven't earned the right to know what yet.
You have to wait for the sequel to find out that information. That's never gonna come.
Yeah, but it looked like whoever drew the logo for this thing, like the graphic design work on the back of these people's jackets, like, get the most retarded guy that we can with a ruler and a pencil and let's go to town.
It's just a glob of nothing with
There was a
SS in the middle of
cross
it.
with SS above it, and instead of a circle, and in the circle there was fire,
Yeah.
Yeah, really crappily drawn fire, I might add.
and it said Brotherhood above that.
Tough guys.
Oh, God.
Well, let's talk about the boss for a while here, because as we all know, Jackie loves her costumes and the fun looks that people can, the attire and the whole visage that people can bring to movies. What were your thoughts on Brian Bosworth, Jackie?
Okay. Let's start off with the best costume he had in this movie. A pair of women's, like, brief cut underwear on. And he's obviously shoved something in the front to make it look better. Like he's wearing his jock strap underneath this thing to make it look like he's got more junk than he does. And then he's got like his motorcycle skunk.
Hair? Oh, the skunk patch thing?
Yeah, that thing was pretty awesome. I kind of wondered if it was a real skunk. And that's why he was so popular with the bikers, because he automatically stinks. It's like Stinkor from the He-Man and Masters of the Universe. You know, it's got that same kind of waftiness about it.
I'm sure nobody in this film smells very good.
No. And his hair was just out of control awesomeness.
It's one of the strongest power mullets that's ever existed.
Oh yeah, because it's 2 colors.
Yeah.
I think it's the benchmark for power mullets.
Like you see this guy walking in the grocery store and you're like, yeah, he's got premium crackers and bananas in his cart
That's
at the
what-
very first of the movie, and you're thinking, oh, and then he's freeloading eating in the grocery store
He's
with
grazing.
with this leather jacket on that has like football
It's
pads
from the
on
future.
it.
He's wearing Future Guy's leather jacket.
I think he borrowed it from the very first Terminator movie. He's like, this was working in Terminator, it's working on me.
I think that this is just Brian Bosworth's wardrobe. I think he's pulled a Barbra Streisand here and just gone into his own closet and pulled shit out, and I'm gonna wear this in the film.
I think I read that he did.
Yeah.
It was his motorcycle, too.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he did have, when he's got the blender scene and he's making his Snickers and Yum Yums blender snack things
His Komodo dragon food.
Yeah, his Komodo dragon food, that he had a belly shirt on. And I was like, wow, nothing says masculine like a belly shirt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was known for that.
Yeah.
And it said body life on it. And I was like, what the hell's wrong with you? And then I loved the thing that really set him off as a character was the crystal earrings. So he was obviously some kind of spiritual and got some kind of derivative powers from his earring and his necklace charms. But the best thing about this guy, honestly, was his Komodo dragon and the relationship that they share over a bowl of slop.
They seem pretty tight.
I think it's just an actual monitor lizard.
Mm.
Because Komodo dragons are really big monitor lizards. I think
It's
this
a
is...
pretty big dragon.
No, they get bigger than that.
Yeah,
And I don't think
you
you
go
can
to the
get a-
zoo.
Get a hold of an actual Komodo dragon for this movie.
I don't get out my tape measure when I go to the zoo.
Either way, it's a big lizard.
It's a big lizard, yeah.
Yeah,
That he
and
loves very much.
I kind of wanted it to get on the back of his motorcycle and like, this lizard is going to help fight crime.
I'll
You know,
just
they're going to put a
burn,
GoPro on its head and it's going to get secrets.
because we're already into the part where he's in his apartment making stupid food and being a total butthole. He has a girlfriend and a lizard.
Uh-huh.
What do you think they do while he's destroying Mississippi?
Are
Does
you implying that she's actually his girlfriend, or do you think that she's just some bimp that he got at the
He
bar?
says you're going to be late for work,
Oh.
and then he kisses her, and then she uses his bathroom.
Hmm.
She might be a live-in.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that my answer to this question is that she's staying there feeding the lizard and just watching TV the whole time. And he comes back like 2 weeks later covered in blood, and she's like, "Oh, are you going to get suspended again?
Yeah.
Because it looks like you're going to get suspended again."
Yeah.
What do you think, Ryan? Girlfriend or bimp?
You know, I I just think girlfriend because I just think Brian's the kind of guy that just doesn't like. I don't think he hires prostitutes. I don't think he hires dimps. The way he acted with that lizard, he seems like a sensitive soul to me. I mean, to be honest, when he was having that initial meeting with the lizard, feeding him and just genuinely embracing him, and then he gave him a little kiss on the nose, I was like, this dude really loves his lizard. Like, is that Brian Bosworth's actual lizard? Because that didn't even seem like acting to me.
That could be as well.
I don't know if it was really his lizard. It was probably his clothes, and it was his motorcycle.
So from a veterinary standpoint, do you feed lizards Snicker bars and orange juice and bananas?
Potato chips, whole
No,
eggs.
I mean, I saw that and I was writing down like this is the worst shake ever. I didn't know how to joke about it. It was just the worst shake ever. And I'm like, oh, it's for the lizard. That's better, I guess. Oh my god. Oh, I have written down immediately after that though banana hammock with a happy banana drawn on my notes because that was when I really loved the movie.
You were in when Bosworth had to strut his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, best costume in the whole movie was that part right there.
Mankini.
I think the best costume was his initial costume because the first 6.5 minutes were insane, and it opens with that insane that it's like a bank heist but in a grocery store.
Yeah.
And you pan up and you see Count Dracula walking through the what do you call those things? The aisles. Like he has this weird flappy collar that's like the size of his head. It looks like I've never seen anything like it. It was Count Dracula to me.
It's an amazing outfit when you're Brian Bosworth and you have everything going on from the neck up that's total ridiculousness, and what draws your attention is the jacket more than anything. Like you don't even bother with the mullet and the earrings and the poofy blonde bleached hair. It's where did he get that fucking jacket, man?
Yeah, it's like an alligator skin duster.
It's wild. Well, let's go ahead and just get into it. Speaking of the grocery store, as you mentioned, there's just some guys. For some reason, they're the biker gang. I guess.
No, these are just three fucktards.
They're bad criminals, yeah.
Yeah, because they had a black guy with them, and everybody knows there's no black guys in gangs.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Well, in motorcycle gangs.
Yeah.
Definitely not the Brotherhood, for sure.
Yeah.
So they're going through and intimidating people and yelling and screaming and shooting bags of potato chips and crackers and just blowing the shit out of all hell as normal, because I guess that's how you get money out of the till. You don't just go in and point a gun at somebody and say, give me the money out of the till, all $30 or whatever you have in the till. Because let's face it, robbing a grocery store is not good criminalization.
You gotta go to the safe.
Yeah, there's nothing there. What are you gonna get? Especially when there's four of you and you gotta split it, you know. You're just gonna get your ass kicked by one of the shoppers there. Oh, guess what? Brian Bosworth is shopping.
For bananas and crackers.
Bananas and crackers. I think that he just went in there and started grabbing stuff and like, this seems like what my character would eat.
I mean, they open the cash register. They find about 5 20s, and just the way they're shooting ammunition, like I'm pretty sure for like an Uzi, the bullets are like 40 cents each, and they're firing dozens of bullets into potato chips. The only thing I can think of is that they saw a food fight and they were just really pissed off.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a real profitable racket that these guys are running, but so of course he beats the shit out of them. He's clubbing guys in the aisleways and clotheslining dudes and
throws the guy into the cooler full of cottage cheese.
Yeah, the one guy, the end guy,
just slips on his own.
Slips on his own into a huge pile of Dr. Pepper.
Flies into it ass first.
That's a pretty good stunt.
But I thought that the actor that really stole the scene was the little girl with the braces.
Oh, brace face
girl or whatever.
She's actually in the credits. She has her what they called her, and it's like hold on, give me just a second.
Because she kind of looks like genuinely scared of this ponytailed guy who's holding her. She's like, oh my god, you have a tank top on.
Tinsel teeth.
You know who that is.
Your armpits stink. And now your armpit hair is all over my shirt, and I'm going to have to go wash my shirt now.
Speaking of bad TV shows, that is the first appearance of Xena Warrior Princess's sidekick.
It is.
Yeah.
It is indeed.
She plays the sidekick in Xena Warrior
Renee
Princess.
O'Connor.
The tinsel
Yes.
mouth?
Tinsel teeth, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, she really did grow out of that awkward stage.
She's the only one that made it out of this movie intact.
What about Bill Forsythe and Lance Henriksen, though?
Okay, they did okay.
Yeah, they did okay.
They kept doing that more.
Yeah, exactly.
More of that, guys.
Hey, dude, typecasting is okay if you're getting a paycheck.
Yeah. I thought
I
that
would
was...
do it. I'd be like, yeah, I'll be the fat sassy girl every time they get shot in the face at the club scene.
Well, it turns out that Joe Huff, Brian Bosworth's character, is on suspension. He's too tough of cap. He's causing too much damage, I guess. They don't really say why he's suspended, but I'm to infer that he's completed the prequel to Stone Cold, and this is just Stone Cold 1. There was already a Stone Cold 0.5 or whatever.
Do you know why he got suspended?
No, I just said that.
Okay, I'm going to tell you.
All
I
right.
have a good idea, too.
He stole some other dude's hairspray out of their locker at work.
Mhm.
And he was caught using it, and the guy was like, "You bastard! You're suspended for 3 weeks for stealing that dude's hairspray."
Hmm.
See, I think he's suspended for dress code violation. They're like, hey, you show up and you look like a dickhole every day. Stop it or don't come in. Dress like a normal person or you're off the force.
Dressed like a cop instead of a male stripper.
Yeah.
Well, he goes back to his house where I'm jumping ahead. I'll edit that out. So there's some biker dudes. The biker dude camp. They have like a whole fucking town of
Just townies.
it's like a compound. I don't know. There's got to be how many bikers here?
Hundreds. There's hundreds.
And, there's only one building there, so they probably have, like, one working toilet.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it stinks there.
I bet you they don't use the toilet, Jackie. They just piss and shit wherever. There's just piss and shit all over the place.
Oh, God. Sounds like
later on we see that the real Brotherhood has they have a compound with like barbed wire fences and armed guards. These guys, like, they just have a couple of tents lined up and it's hot out and like they're doing, I think it's just like a morale retreat because they're just doing trust exercises.
They're doing trust falls.
Like that's all they're doing. They're shooting at each other and like trusting that they won't miss. They're beating each other up but helping each other get up when they lose. It's trust exercises.
It is.
It's a corporate retreat.
for bikers.
For tough guys. Well, they're ridiculous. They're obviously real bad dudes because they're just being willy-nilly with their own lives. They don't care about dying. They'll shoot cans off of each other's faces. And the one guy is like, "You're not doing it right." And he pulls out an Uzi and just shoots 1,000,000 rounds at the guy holding the can
Blows
on
up
his shoulder.
a car.
Blows up a goddamn car. You think some of those bullets would have hit that guy,
You'd
but
think so.
at least he's faster than bullets.
I kind of wonder how many of those dudes have lice.
All of them. Rampant.
Beard
Rampant
lice.
Beard lice.
And
Pubes
hair.
lice.
Yeah. I mean,
Armpit lice.
probably just passing it around.
Yeah. Well, we see later that they've got outdoor showers where the naked ladies are, and there's children living there as well, which is just strange. So I am assuming that they're a pretty close-knit group of people. They're also passing the ladies back and forth to each other like, "Here, bro, take my chick." So they've all got everything. Herpagonosyphilades, every single one of them has all of the diseases that they share and pass back and forth.
Ryan, don't lie. Have you been part of a biker gang? Is that how it really is?
In my younger years, it was nothing like this. It was 700 people max. I never saw gatherings in the tens of thousands.
Well, this is what I just don't fucking get about this movie, is this whole court trial thing. That Trouble, one of the biker guys, there's a christening happening, I guess, and he just busts in and blows away some priest for...
Was it a wedding?
Fun.
Christening.
It was a christening. There was a baby.
Huh.
Just, "Hey, buddy!" Shoots him out the window.
Yep. And they get away with everything except this.
They don't get away with this.
No. I don't know why they're doing it.
And it's total bullshit about this scene. Do you know how expensive plain glass windows are like that?
Yeah.
With all the decorations and shit? Like, okay, if you're going to shoot the guy, just don't shoot him out the window. I mean...
Oh, that's it, Jackie.
That's all I'm saying. That was the most offensive
about the monetary
part.
damages, not the death of a
That was a
innocent
beautiful
man.
window. Screw that guy. I mean, God, just shoot him next to a pew or something.
Nice.
I was disgruntled about that.
So Trouble is now on trial. The trial of the century, I guess, in Mississippi, because the district attorney's getting involved. He's got the governor getting involved, and it's a whole thing. They got to shut these biker guys down, like do whatever it takes to make a statement. And we're gonna slit Trouble from neck to nuts to let everybody know that Mississippi is off limits to biker guys. I guess
That's the idea.
And that's the other thing I don't get, is because these bikers are so pissed off because one of their guys, they're trying to sentence him to death instead of 45 years in prison. Like, that seems to be the big spark. But again, these guys are like killing each other. They must be losing tens a day, like in these training exercises. Like, they just have no regard for their own lives. So what do they care if one of their own is going to be thrown in jail?
Yeah.
My only thought was that they don't want him to die because they want to put him into prison, so they got a guy on the inside, and they can work that too.
Interesting.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. Because there is some weird working the side thing, like when Lance Henriksen calls the sheriff's office and is like, I need you to run a full background check on John Stone. But he calls it something like I need you to do a GR 222 56B background check on the guy. Like, he knows. I almost thought that it was going to come out that he was like an undercover cop that had gone too far deep and had churned and flipped. But that never pays off.
Like Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, kind of, but it's not.
Certainly not.
Yeah. So the judge sends his Trouble to the pen. He's guilty. So of course they have to splode him. Nice day out fishing. Go to your boat and get sploded. Yep.
And that's the part that doesn't work for me on the. Well, they were trying to put him in prison because they blow up the judge, or they just blow up everybody because they can.
Right.
I don't know.
Might as well. They got to even the numbers because they're hemorrhaging men, so they got to take out some of the good guys just because, so it stays even. I don't know. So back at Joe's house, he is making his shake, the aforementioned shake. It's OJ, Snickers bars, 2 Snickers bars, chips, eggs with the shells, a banana, and a blender. And you think that it's his morning breakfast. I do like this joke a little bit because it's set up like, oh, he's going to drink this and it's going to be like, that's his thing. He's just the ultimate tough guy. But then he puts it in the lizard's bowl and you have the whole hugging and kissing with the lizard. The old sensitive Joe guy scene. But the FBI shows up. They want to hire him to go undercover in with the bikers.
Because nobody else has made more biker arrests in the state of Alabama than Joe Huff.
And they're going to take his suspension away if he does it.
Or double it if he doesn't.
Or 6 months without pay.
Yeah.
Damn.
And this guy cannot go that long without steroids.
Yeah.
And Snickers bars.
Yeah, he's got a dragon to support. I mean, really? You guys are just heartless buttholes.
It's a nice place. I think that he's on the take.
Nice place you got here, Joe. Shabby. So Joe sleeps in his banana hammock. We get that whole business with the naked lady. And you ever seen one of those FBI guy? I think the FBI's guy's name is Lance. Yeah. You ever seen one of those? Not in that shape or whatever. That up close.
Not that well put together, maybe.
Yeah, that well put together.
He's on a ring of fat chicks.
I did like the interesting idea that it really makes no sense because they made Brian's partner be Lance, this germaphobe hypochondriac who clearly shouldn't be doing anything out in the field. So I assume that they told him, like, you're strictly desk job. You're only communicating with, Brian via phone and stuff. But then he decides to insert himself in the field against their wishes, like, even though he kind of doesn't want to and he's scared of it. It's a really weird dynamic. Like,
it is.
And he disappears for well over 20 minutes right after he's introduced. There's no point to him being in this movie at all. Like, there's no character growth. I don't know why he's here.
He does know there's some character growth at the very end.
At the very end.
Yes.
Briefly. He is
he got an earring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's a part of the very first mission, and the first mission is to infiltrate the Tit for Tat, which I guess is where they go. It's like their bar.
I think they own it.
Their karaoke bar.
Because one of the strippers he says they use it to sell speed to the truckers.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a dispute between the stripper and the trucker, and then Ice, William
Forsythe
has to get them out. He's got to bounce them.
Yeah.
So I think they own that place.
Okay.
Did anybody love the opening shot, though, of Tit for Tat with the butt thong underwear?
It's just a big butt that occupies your whole screen.
It was too much butt.
Like, wow, that camera's really in there. That's a lot of detail on a person's ass that I have never seen before.
I remember why I don't like to go to these places.
Cigarette burns and all.
Yeah.
Gross. Biker stripper butts are icky. So, yeah, the germaphobe, or the FBI guy confesses in the bathroom that he's a real germaphobe and he can't, he's not really fit for duty for this, but, he won't even put grease in his hair to tough guy out. So Joe has to pull his sleeves off of his sweet denim jacket and put a headband on him to make him blend in a little better.
Yeah, that must have been like the cheapest leather jacket that guy could ever.
Denim
Yeah.
jacket, yeah.
Because he just ripped them off like they were nothing.
It's, again, the boss, super strength. He can do whatever he wants. There could have been top quality clothing, and he just do as he chooses.
To the steroids, because you see him feed a lizard and you see him feed Nancy. He never eats anything himself during the entire movie.
I don't see him eating anything.
No. He only eats steroids.
Living on the juice. So he confronts Ice, played by William Forsythe. I like that Ice calls him the grown-up Bam Bam, because that's what he looks like.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good call. It was a little insulting to the boss, I thought. It was kind of a brave choice in this film. Instead of glorifying him, calling him kind of a bit of a dumbass.
Yeah.
So a fight breaks out for the money that Sam talks about. And of course, it's knockdown drag out with tough guys. Boz kind of gets involved a little too much. Hey, keep your nose out of my shit, bro.
We get introduced to Gut, the biker, who really has a heart of gold.
Mm-hmm.
He's just in there for the camaraderie.
He might as well be named Pete, Dead Meat Pete.
Yeah,
because you know he's not gonna make it.
I like this heart of gold biker guy because like there's a point a little later on in the movie where they kill some cops and this heart of gold guy, he comes up and he goes, "This isn't what I signed up for. We're supposed to have each other's backs. We're supposed to, we're here to love each other. This isn't what it's about." Like this bike gang has been going around just killing random priests at christenings. Like, what did he think this gang was all about? Like, they're all armed to the teeth with AK-47s. Like,
and they have a compound with barbed wire on the fence.
Yeah. I thought it was just supposed to be riding around and having barbecues. What happened?
I thought I was joining the gang from Fast and Furious.
I came in here for the trust exercises, guys. I didn't want to be a part of this.
So, the Heart of Gold Gut invites Joe to the rally, which is, I guess, another outdoor beach party for these guys. They don't do a lot of... They're bad guys, but they party more than anything. Let's face it.
They work hard and they play harder.
Yeah. They're always out having some fun-ins. And, so Ice has to race, or, Joe has to race Ice, beats him, of course.
Of course.
Last second, my bike's much faster than yours. Joe gets into a big wrestling fight.
Which Black Rain was before this, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they stole that scene directly from Black Rain.
With Kurt Russell?
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas, yeah.
And Andy Garcia.
Yeah, that's like 88 or something. So he's become the identity of John Stone, is his nom de plume, his alias. And everybody thinks he's John Stone. You never really get a whole lot of background on John Stone. He just shows up and he's a biker, and that's who he is.
Yep. Why not? He says he just got out of the pen. He's lying.
Yeah. So there's another main biker guy named Chains, played by Lance Henriksen. Chains is in Joe's van, some tramp.
Checking it out, which, here's a question I just came up with. How did he get the bike and the van there? Because there's no trailer on the van. It just doesn't, there's a bed back there. The bike's not going to fit. This is a 2-day process, I'm guessing. Like, he parked the van there and then he had to
No, he would have had to park the bike there and then drove the van there. Because he pulls in on the van.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. Well, he's the ultimate cop. He prepares for everything. Well, maybe, it's a bike gang. I should probably have a motorcycle there. But I also really like driving my van that has a bed. He lives in no, he's got that apartment.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's the movie's one logical flaw, really.
This is the one.
Yeah, this is our hang-up. Joe's van. So back in Biker Town, there's the naked ladies and the children running around. It's just my favorite scene because, honestly, if I was one of those children, I would just sit outside of the open showers. Just, hey, ladies!
Yeah, you're just sitting out there. One of the bikers like, look, that kid's got a boner, and the kid looks at him like, what's it to you? What would you be doing here, pal? What else am I gonna do?
And I didn't understand this because the whole point of John Stone coming into this thing is to try to prove that this biker gang is up to no good, I guess. But, like, his first day there, he rolls in on, again, a compound filled with barbed wire, guard posts with guards with AK-47s, children running around, naked women showering, like, they're all carrying guns. Like, isn't that enough to put them in jail? You're not allowed to do that, right? Like, are you?
You know, I'm no expert, but I don't think you are. I think it would be pretty easy to get a warrant into this compound of bad guyness.
Yeah.
And you're going to find something there.
Well,
Guns.
social services should be alerted immediately.
Yeah. I don't think you need an undercover tough guy that's on suspension to go in here and break this shit up. But it's kind of like they're their own sovereign country and that the Mississippi government can't do anything about it because
it's America's city.
Yeah, it's America's city. It's like, oh, that place is we can't get in there. It's too defended and it'll be a whole war that'll break out. I don't know. That's
I'm pretty sure they outnumber the rest of Mississippi. I mean, seriously, like some of these scenes have literally 10,000 extras.
That's probably true. They just can't go in there.
Like, I'm not a biker gang expert by any means, but I thought they were like 100 max. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I'll stop now with that.
Well, you got to have a lot of guys for Joe Huff to blow away later.
Yeah.
You know, you can't question the numbers when there's thousands of people dying at the end. So Stone brings in a bulletproof vest to Chains.
This scene doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't really make any sense. Why does he do this? Like, here you go. I brought you a gift?
If you're going to do business with me, you need one of these. A why? So that you can put it on me and then shoot me with it. Wait, this didn't work out for me at all.
Because isn't this like a huge clue that this guy is a cop? He's got access to cop gear?
Well, they said government issue, but then all of their guns are government issue, and government issue this and that and whatever.
No, so it's like a whole smuggling thing. Like, we're smuggling in government shit, so I gotta prove that I can smuggle in government shit,
Yeah, it's
too?
a hang-down contest.
Yeah.
They were 2 seconds away from showing each other wieners.
Well, now that Stone has proven to Chains that he's a real deal tough guy, they send him in to deal with this Bolivian dude who's done something to betray the Brotherhood. And I really only mention this because it comes into play later.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta take that guy out. Okay, I'll do it. And he goes over to the Bolivia guy, calls in the FBI, they run a sting, capture him, because he's not gonna kill him, and you know, he's not that type of bad guy. So he cuts off some corpse's ear, the morgue, and hires a tattoo artist to tattoo the same tattoo of the Bolivian guy on the ear so he can prove to Chains that he whacked a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole thing with the Bolivian guy, it starts what I call the GTA sequence of the movie, where it's really like a game of Grand Theft Auto. Like, he goes on a mission, he, like, finds some guy or delivers some drugs, he gets a little promotion, he gets some new weapons, and then he just does the whole thing again.
It is really a lot like Grand Theft Auto, you're right.
And not like the good Grand Theft
No,
Auto.
the
like
bullshit
4 or
missions
5,
that
like,
you don't want to even do. Like, why am I playing this game? This is so dumb. I wonder if he's saying that to himself, like, why am I doing this? This is bullshit. This is just filler.
So now Chains has chosen Stone over Ice because he's just so hard. He's proven that he's so hard to Chains that he can do whatever he needs him to be. So Chains calls the cops. This is the aforementioned piece that I'm curious about. That why does this even happen? Because this doesn't make sense. Where he calls the cops and the sheriff's like, "Oh, sure, no problem, guy."
Well, they mention that she's in. She's
Okay.
a plant.
All right, fine. Even then, it doesn't pay off ever because
No.
when she calls back later, she talks to Nancy, the girlfriend, and Nancy does nothing but the information.
Well, the information isn't, like, that good anyway. Like, oh,
Shit!
he's got another name. I bet everybody has it. Gut isn't his real name.
Yeah, Chains isn't his real name.
What?
Mudfish isn't his real name.
These aren't your birth names? Yeah, no, his name's Joe Huff. Wow, we've cracked the case. Fuck. And then, no, that's it. That's all I've got. Oh, thanks. We've done really good planting you in the police department.
That you work with the guy
Yeah.
who's here, who just earlier today brought donuts in, named
Yeah.
Joe Huff. You ate his donuts.
Yes.
You stupid bastard. Whatever. So the actual mob's involved now as well, because Joe gets sent out on another mission where it's to...
Protection racket.
Yeah, for the protection racket. But the mob also has a claim to the protection
Yeah.
racket. Give us that money.
I like how the mob in this movie is literally 3 guys. And the biker gang is, again, 10,000 guys. Like, I never knew mobs were so poorly numbered and so poorly organized. I don't even know why they're in the movie. They're barely there.
Maybe Mississippi just isn't much of it's not conducive to Italian mobsters. Like,
maybe they were trying to class it up. Like, oh, this is Mississippi, but yeah, we have some classy mobsters.
Yeah. Gentlemen. Guys that wear ties while committing crimes. I don't know.
They looked a little soft for mobsters, too.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I was like, these guys look like they're accountants.
Driving the Crown Vic.
The guys in the car, not so bad, but like when he cuts off the guy in the car's head and then puts it in the motorcycle helmet and they go to the restaurant, it was like, are you sure he's not a stockbroker? Are you at the right table?
And they weren't even eating spaghetti.
No, it wasn't very mobbish.
No.
And whereas these biker guys, like, again, have, like, this incredible fortress and are so well equipped and, I guess, moderately well trained, these mobsters are the worst criminals I've ever seen, except for the grocery store guys. I mean, they throw a grenade at a guy instead of just shooting him. Like, again, I'm assuming grenades are really expensive. I mean, why would you go that big? Like, when you shoot someone in broad daylight, I assume you're trying to keep as low a key as possible, not blow up half a block. To not even kill the guy, you just wound him. And then Joe Stone, like, kills 2 of the mobsters, and then the last mobster just does nothing. He has the gun pointed at him, and he says, "We're mean, go away. Tell your boss we're mean."
Got your cash, na.
Yeah.
We find
$400.
Yeah. All of that for $400. I bet you the grenade at least cost $60, $70.
I don't know how much a grenade costs on the black market. Probably more than $60 or $70.
It's not good business.
No. And that he's like, oh, I'll spot you the 400 because it's $400.
Yeah.
Even in 1991, like, ooh, yeah, we lost the cash. Oh boy, why are we even out here?
Yeah, $400 a day is not going to support 10,000 bikers and all of their guns. Ridiculous.
Well, especially not with all those retreats that they keep taking and wasting the bullets.
Yeah.
So the guy that got exploded by the grenade is now in the hospital. And so the gang goes and visits, and they're storming the hospitals. Tough guys. You can't come in here. We can do whatever we want. We're the toughs. They get into his room, and he's all exploded. Half of his face is gone, and they're like, "Hey, man, you're gonna be back in a week or 2, brother." And he's like, "Kill me."
And he's really, like, being a bitch. Like, kill me. Like, okay, your face is kind of fucked up. It'll get better, buddy. You're gonna be okay. And then they leave his girlfriend there, and she's, like, all distressed. And it's like, well, you should have been there anyway. You did get him blown up.
That's not his girlfriend. They gave her, like, here, you can have one of our babes.
Well, she was with him before.
Was she?
She was there when he got exploded with a hand grenade. It
But
didn't make
anyway,
any sense.
they gave her away as a wife.
Yeah, here, you can marry this one. She'll love you forever, even though you only got half of a face.
And your face is gonna heal fine. You're gonna have a scar. It's not that bad.
So I'm going to burn a
wound.
question. I'm going to burn a question. So if you get exploded with this gang, you just automatically get a wife?
Yeah, you get a dame.
Is there a pension with that?
Well, not at $400 a pop, man.
There is a pension, but it's her pension. That, like, you don't. She's the one that's getting paid off of this deal. Like, she gets all of your cash, and now she can just wear leopard skin pants and eat bonbons for the rest of her life.
I guess.
She's the one that gets a promotion.
I just like that this biker gang, which is so ruthlessly guns down priests, which will never forgive any betrayal, which, like, they're just supposed to be these hard killers. Like, this guy, he loses the $400, which apparently is worth, like, $10 million back in 1990. He loses the $400, and they come in with hugs and literal kisses and a Domino's pizza, and they give him wives and flowers. Like, he failed. Like, I'm sorry he got blown up, but, like, they act like he just killed the entire mob.
Yeah, if this was Goodfellas, that guy would be sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Goodfellas, the Italian mobs are just getting away with everything in this film.
Yeah,
because they get the money.
They get the drugs.
They get the drugs.
I'm going to wait for that until we get there. I'll burn a question
well, in this
there.
scene, they get the money and they get away, and there's no, we gotta get those mob sons of bitches, revenge and all this shit. It's like, oh, hey, well, bummer, we'll go visit our bro at the hospital and give him a lady.
Because, again, the mob is 5 people in this universe, so they're like an ant. You're not going to even spend the resources to wipe them out. Just push them aside.
Well, meanwhile, the DA has called in the National Guard because this biker situation has gone to 11. we need to go. I'm declaring martial law. Curfew is at 9 o'clock now because there's just too many of these goddamn biker guys.
So we're gonna set up a roadblock, and you know what you're gonna do? Go ahead and check their IDs. Go ahead and check those IDs.
I need to see your papers to make sure you're not bad guys.
Yeah, I know, and then let's just entertain them. Show them your driver's license. Like, organ donor, nice. All right, you boys keep it under 60. All right, okay.
I like how the bikers roll up to the 2 National Guardsmen. Like there are like 30 of them. They're obviously going to like kill them or hurt them. And the 2 guardsmen, they just look kind of annoyed. They're like, "Hey, just let us do our jobs here, guys. Come on."
Yeah.
And it's like, do you really think this is going to end well for you guys? It's just a weird scene.
It is a weird scene because it seems like that they're on their way back from the hospital, I'm guessing, to go to their biker town. Let's just infer that this is the only road that they would take to go back to biker town. You should have all of the National Guard there to stop them if you want to catch them. Like, we know where you live.
And again with the ID check, like...
Don't check their ID. Are you the guys? Well, we're on bikes, aren't we? Yeah, okay.
Hold on for a second, mudslinger. Let me just check you out. I'm going to run you through the computer. Then you go back to the National Guard truck and get on the radio. I think these are the guys. Are these the guys? Like, are they motorcycle biker gang? They look like it. They're probably the guys.
Yeah, on their
I got
way to
their
biker
ID. What do I do with this? Just give it back to him.
And this is the halfway point of the movie, so I think it's okay to start, like, wondering at this point, like, what is the bikers' end goal here? Like, later on, like, they start to do a drug deal to make some money and stuff, and you start to learn a little bit more, but at this point, they're just messing around, and they're bikers. I don't understand how they're trying to take on the entire U.S. Army. Like,
yeah, at no point other than Trouble killing the priest have they ever really committed any overt crimes. I guess there's the protection racket, but you're led to believe that they've been doing this shit for a while.
Their end game is to kill the district attorney, but then what?
But that's only because he ramps up his shit against them.
I thought that guy was the mayor.
No, he was the DA.
The
who
DA.
was going to later run
Whip
for
it?
governor. Yeah.
But then what? And then what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, they were littering too
Ew.
at the beach scene.
Tisk.
There was a lot of littering going on.
Yeah.
They blew up a car.
Yeah,
That's
litter
more than
bugs.
littering.
Just add that to their ongoing list of offenses. Littering. Well, also, now we get introduced to the P2P drug, which I don't know what is.
They claimed something about methamphetamines, like it's super concentrated, which doesn't make any sense, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's when 2 guys are peeing and they cross streams.
Ooh, never cross the streams. So, Stone sets up a plan that they're gonna...
I just laughed, Sam, because that was funny.
Oh, boy. Stone sets up a sting operation to get both the mob and the bikers with the P2P. He's going to have the biker sell the P2P to the mob, and all at one time, the feds will swoop in and get them all at one fell swoop.
One fell swoop. Little do they know, they're just not going to go to that one place and fuck up the whole plan.
Well, back at Biker Town, they've got the National Guard guys. They put them in a box, or boxes, crates, I guess, and then they shoot them.
That was really a lot of just shoot them.
Just shoot them.
Put them in the crates later.
Yeah, or just don't even mess with the crates. What's the point of the crates?
All of it.
Clean up?
I don't know.
It's got handles?
It seems like that most of the bikers, other than Shane's, thought that it was going to be like kind of a joke. Like the good guy biker with the heart of gold said, "Hey, I thought this was just a prank," which that guy's stupid. I don't understand. I don't understand how that works. Like in his head was he like, "Oh, we're going to throw these soldiers in a box, just kind of mess with them, and then just let them go." Like that's like I don't understand how that works in his head. Like and then it'll be like, "Oh, it's okay. They were just fooling around."
They're just gonna leave him in there until one of them really had to go to the bathroom. Like, oh, okay, we'll let you out. I don't want you to pee on yourself.
Well, now the dissension has started because they've killed these innocent National Guards guys, and Gut is going, Nancy is starting to go, ooh, maybe this guy isn't the supreme leader that we should be following. This guy seems pretty fucking crazy.
Still not as bad as shooting the preacher for no reason.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah, oh, and Gut gets his hand put in the motorcycle wheel.
Which you never really see what happens to his hand afterwards. I was a little disappointed with that. And he's like, oh, I guess I'll just keep hanging around. I'll eat my barbecue hot dogs with my left hand now.
I'm not even sure how the whole thing worked because the back wheel is spinning.
He put it up on the kickstand.
Oh, I didn't catch that part.
It's a double leg kickstand.
Uh-huh. All right. So Stone's going after Chains' girlfriend, Nancy, now because she's obviously not feeling the biker gang is the coolest scene to be seen in.
She's got a heart of gold, too.
Yeah, she's a real charmer, this one.
She's a hooker with a heart of gold.
She's, he takes her to get something to eat, some Diet Coke and some toast.
Yeah.
And she, what did I write down here? We find out that she's a streetwise Sasserton. Because that's what she says, basically. Like, I told everybody to F off and I grew up on the streets, but I'm sassy.
Well, it doesn't take her very long to switch sides because it seems like he gets her the toast and then they go for a walk on the beach and then she's his girlfriend now.
I guess. Well, not really, because he's got an actual girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's double dipping.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, she is all about him because she plants one on him.
Kinda.
It's not as...
She turns on, like, she's on her own side.
Yeah,
the whole time.
Maybe she's just doing that to everybody. She's like a record. She gets around.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But she's got a tattoo on her back. God forgives, Brotherhood doesn't.
Yeah.
So they're bad guys.
They're bad guys.
You know what would have been really funny, though, when they showed that, is if it would have had Brotherhood as, instead of just a B, it would have been B, capital B, and then a little H for Brotherhood. Because they didn't realize that it was just one word. You know, don't look at me like that.
You should write a letter. Everybody should write a letter to somebody.
That would have been
sure that they know that they blew it because of that, Jackie.
Or if they just showed that everybody had one of those tattoos and you saw them at varying times and it was always different because they couldn't really quite figure out how to do it.
Or what their name or their gang actually was. Sometimes it's a C, sometimes it's a B.
Like, yeah, there's one guy that just has DFSU tattooed on that. Like, well, that's not the Brotherhood Doesn't Forgive. Oh, that was when we were still going by the Don't Fuck Shit Up moniker. It's just older. I've just been around longer.
So the bikers send a message to the government, I guess, with the bodies of the guardsmen in the crate, and it's got a letter with the picture of Whipperton crossed out in blood.
This is where the plan really starts to go awry on the police side of things. They're like, well, we've got enough evidence to really get these guys. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, we're still going to get the Italians. Are you? Mm-hmm. Are you going to do that?
Yeah, I think you need to just go for the biker guys.
Yeah, well, they don't.
Why not? Again, I hate to keep harping on this. I just don't know what the bikers' end goal here is, because I understand they want to kill the governor to be guy, but just what is going to happen with these guys? Like they kill these guardsmen. Did they think the government is just going to go, oh, okay, we'll let that happen?
Yeah, we'll let this one slide.
I understand the biker gang in this universe is about like a fifth of the United States population, but we have an army and we have tanks and stuff. Like, if you try to kill the government, which they do later on, you're going to get killed because it's just a weird plot. I feel like a lot of details got lost in editing or something.
No, the bikers are like, we're gonna do this, and then we win. And then Stone Cold's like, well, I'm gonna get the bikers and the Italians. Neither one of them really have a good plan for that.
Nobody's got good plans in this film. So the feds want to pull Stone out, but he's not having it.
He's too far in.
Yeah, he's got to see it to the finish. But so Ice sees Stone talking to Lance, and now he knows that he's a cap. He's a narc. He's gonna have to kill him, I guess, which he doesn't. He shoots at him and then rides away. So I guess he's going back to Biker Town to snitch on.
Yes, he's gonna.
Stone.
He's gonna.
Why not just whack him right there and be done with it?
Because he's a shitty shot.
I don't know. Because then he wouldn't get to die on a motorcycle and then get a Viking funeral later.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's what SS means. Shitty shot.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My jokes are just getting worse.
As the movie gets worse, Jackie's jokes get worse.
It's psychologically deconstructing you.
So Stone goes on a chase to chase Ice. And it's pretty wild shoot 'em out scene.
Music more intense than the actual chase scene.
Well, Ice blows up a cop. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Just shoots like 4 rounds and the cop car blows up.
That's the second car that he blows up with that gun.
You've got now enough more proof that you could just invade Biker Town and stop this stuff. Don't need to go all the way.
Nope. Unless you want to get those Italians.
Yeah.
I will say one good thing about this movie is that, you know, when this ice guy gets blown up because his bike gets tapped by another car and it just explodes. And, like,
It's the Ford Pinto of motorcycles.
They pan over ice to the ground, and I was like, oh, so he's just going to be like, okay. But no, like, his face is blown off, which I respected, because unlike The Wicker Man, where Nicolas Cage was blown up from, like, an inch away and just kind of had, like, a tiny scratch on his forehead, like, this guy's face was gone. So I at least respected that.
Yeah, he gets exploded up real nice. So Nancy now gets to tell her they're having the funeral for Ice.
Yeah.
And before they light him on fire, Nancy gets told by Stone that he's Joe Huff. And he's like, so what? What's that mean?
Exactly.
And she's like, are you a cop? Yep. Okay. And then
all right, see you later.
That happened. She doesn't really seem to care, but then later, she has no fucking clue that he's a cop.
And she's pissed.
Wait, you're a cop?
I told you as much in the last scene.
You asked me, and I said, yeah.
Well, what during that scene, I had to rewind it a few times because I couldn't tell what John said. I thought he said, I'm not a cop, but I could be wrong because she didn't seem to care either way. It was really confusing.
So we don't know what happens in this scene because we all three of us thought he said, I'm a cop.
Yeah, it seemed like he said, I'm a cop.
That's what I was leaning towards, but then later on, like you said, she was like, you're a cop? What? So I was like, oh, I guess it was I'm not a cop. It was really mumbly, and it was
just like all the Bosworth lines.
I'd say it was the only poorly edited thing in the film, really.
Yeah, only one.
That's it.
So they're having the funeral for Ice. They've got him propped up on his motorcycle on like a pier, or not a pier, but a stack of crates to give tribute to him. I'm going to go ahead and burn my question. How'd they get Ice's body?
It's a very good question.
He's in the road. He's quite dead. Exploded midday. Traffic all around. Cops have got to be right up on there.
Yep.
I would think that they would take his body back to the morgue, not give it to the biker gang who they are trying to take down so that they could have a Viking funeral.
I cannot answer that question. I have no answer. None.
I wrote that one down too. I was confused about that.
I'm just going to go ahead and infer that they had another one of their stupid missions and invaded the morgue, and it wasn't in the budget or time constraints or something. And
it was one of the DLC missions that you have to pay extra for.
Ice morgue robbery.
Yeah. So they light him on fire. He's already been exploded. Might as well just burn him up the rest of the way.
It was a Viking funeral. He said so. Yeah.
Well, they put his sunglasses on him.
And gave him a cigar.
He looks cool.
He does look cool.
So it's now time for the sting operation. The mob and the... this is so dumb right here.
So dumb. I like that they just decided to fucking freelance dinner theater in the middle of the fucking... the drug, like, we're gonna make this look good.
We gotta make it believable.
Yeah. Hey, Rodriguez, do you have your lines down? Yeah. I've been practicing all night in front of the mirror.
I went to Shakespeare in the Park for like an entire summer. I am a pro at this now. I want 10%. Instead, you're giving me 50,000. That's not even 10%. Yeah, it's actually 5%. It's half of 10%. I wrote down acting.
I was so confused by that because this guy they hired, like, I might have missed something a little bit before, but during the actual deal, like, he was asking for money, he was like pulling a gun on John, and I was like, this is getting really weird. Like, was this still part of the plan? Because why would this be part of the plan? Why do you need to pretend to kill this guy in a crazy elaborate way with squid packs and, like, I just don't understand. Like, they already trust John.
He's the one that set up the sting.
Yeah, no, when this happens, like, afterwards, they're all in the vans just high-fiving each other. This is like opening night off Broadway. We did it!
I totally believed it.
I like to think that the cops planned this thing, and then, like, just one of the guys is like, hey, you know what would be really fun, though? Like, let's just throw, like, a whole little skit in there, like, just to make things a little more interesting. And they just go for it.
I've got an idea, guys.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try this. Yeah, so they fall for it, I guess.
That's because Lance, before the FBI, went to the Juilliard school. We really gotta stop letting Lance plan these missions. It's too many theatrics.
And they maybe if they just spent a little bit of that time and effort, like on putting a tracker on the truck, that like this whole further exchange could have been avoided.
Yeah.
Or like they lose track of the truck.
Yeah, because the meeting with the mob, the exchange of the drugs and the money, happens at a totally wrong place that the FBI is not at.
No.
There's no cops there to take them down. The plan has failed.
Yeah.
Now, this is the first point where the movie, because usually in these movies where the cop or the hero is just an inept idiot, you kind of have to you have to make connections to realize that he's an idiot. The film overtly declares these guys don't know what they're doing
No
right
one
here.
in the movie knows what they're doing.
The plan has gone awry.
I also love that, like, okay, so the cops definitely witnessed the bikers buying the PCP. So they definitely have that.
Mm-hmm.
The bikers then kind of disappear with the truck, and they're like, oh, what do we do now? Because it's not like we know where their compound is. And it's not like they hang out anywhere else. Like, they have an entire village. Like, just go there and arrest them. It makes no sense.
Again, you have a warrant.
That's the problem, is that they're like, so Lance, usually we just bust everybody right when the money exchanges hands, and he's like, yeah, but then we can't do Act 2 at the second meeting.
We have to have the betrayal with the brother involved, of course. It's the whole Hamlet thing right here.
Yeah.
So Joe has to go after the truck. It's time to turn it on.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So he shoots
The truck off. It shoots the trailer off the tractor trailer.
This
That
is
happens.
so dumb. He's got a pistol, like a .45. He's on his motorcycle along the side of the tractor trailer and shoots the hitch off of the truck.
Yep.
The trailer goes into a gas station and completely explodes.
Completely explodes. So they don't get the drugs, but they don't really get caught either. And then whoever was in the gas station is dead.
Yeah, and the mob guys just drive off. They just
Yeah.
keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking.
That's why you really picked this movie, isn't it, Justin?
Yeah, 'cause
We're
there's-
truckers.
There's truck driving in
Truck driving.
But this is also the point in the movie where I realized that the boss has some kind of weird blue skeleton thing on the side of his gas tank.
It matches the skunk thing on his jacket.
Yeah.
It's the same skull.
And this is the first time that I realized this, and I'm like, oh man, that is so butt.
Yep. Brought his own clothes, brought his own bike.
it. Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if he, coming to think about this, if he has that skunk pelt thing on his coat so that the ladies will be like, ooh, I like your skunk pelt. Like a hooker attractor,
I think
a bimp attractor.
Yeah.
I think it was all that he still wanted to play for the Oakland Raiders and didn't get to.
Didn't get to, yeah.
So, no drugs, no evidence, no mob takedown. This is the last, I want to make a note, this is the very last we ever deal with the mob in this film.
So I'm burning the question. Did the Italians get away?
Yes, completely.
Yes, they got away.
Until Stone Cold 2.
I did. Well, that never happened.
Stone Apocalypse.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Pretty weird. So the next day at Biker Town, the girlfriend, Nancy, is there. She's snitched, or she seems like she's snitched about Joe. We don't really know. But
Yeah.
then there's the Bolivian has showed back up as well,
So he's snitched. Nancy's just the wrong place, wrong time.
I guess.
I don't know if they both snitched or what.
Yeah.
They
Why
both-
did the Bolivian come back?
No, that doesn't make any sense.
I just assumed he escaped custody in another DLC mission that we didn't get. That's all I could infer.
Yeah, but why would he do such a thing? Because he betrayed the Brotherhood. They sent a man to kill him.
Yes.
You don't want to go back and be like, hey guys, what'd I miss?
Yeah.
Bullets.
That's what he
Kabang.
missed.
Yeah. So they kill him, of course.
Yeah, they kill him. Kill Nancy.
Yeah, I was surprised that they shot Nancy in the face.
I was not surprised they shot Nancy.
I was surprised. I was like, oh, well, that just happened.
Yeah, usually the protagonist and the lady friend get to ride off on the motorcycle into the sunset.
He already has a girlfriend and a lizard.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I always forget about the girlfriend of the lizard. So Chains dresses as a priest and goes to the trial because it's the big day. The whether they're gonna convict Trouble for life or what's gonna happen here, if they're gonna execute him, I don't know.
Yeah, Supreme Court trial
Yeah.
to give him a tougher sentence.
Yep.
And I'm not a lawyer, but I just kept wondering, can you do that? Because like the whole double jeopardy thing, I could be wrong, but are you allowed to do another
I
trial
question
to
that
make
as
a
well.
sentence worse?
I'm pretty sure you can't do that.
Because the defense can appeal the trial. Like if you're convicted, you can appeal the trial for a mistrial, but I don't know if the prosecutor can.
You can't if the
Retry.
sentence happens, that's sort of it.
Yeah, that's the end of the show for you.
And they're all very busy people that they wouldn't really try to go back for. They'd be on to the next one.
Yeah.
And is it even, it's so pointless. Like, you got 45 years. Like, is it that necessary to go for the death, to waste all this money and get all these people killed just to put one guy to death instead of 45 years in jail?
And they usually take 30 years to do it anyway.
I think at the end of the film, the entire state of Mississippi wants a mulligan. They want a do-over on this trial. It does not pay out for anybody. So Chains goes with a gun. He's got a gun that he snuck in, and he gets through the metal detectors because he's, of course, a priest and he's got a cross.
No, he doesn't. That's the other dumb part, is that he gets through the metal detector. The gun was taped to the bottom of the pew in the courtroom.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
So he didn't even sneak anything in. It was fucking it was terrible.
I like how they, like, scan him and they find the cross and like, oh, sorry about that, Father. And he comes in and he, like, gives the camera, like, this really, like, oh, man, those idiots don't even know what they just let through. But again, he didn't sneak anything through, so there was no point to that scene.
You've already let it through. So Stone is now attached to a chopper. There's a bomb in the chopper. What are they going to do with the bomb? Is the plan just to blow up the Capitol building?
Well, apparently they were going to strap it to him and then throw him at the Capitol building or something.
This is another thing that made no sense. Like, the bad guys in this movie let Stone get away for no reason. Like, they had him. They were going to kill him and like, oh no, we got big plans for you. They were going to strap a bomb to him and bomb the Capitol building of the United States government. Because again, this is apparently like a foreign country, this biker town. And why do they need to strap the bomb to him? It's so such an unnecessary risk.
Or when they're planning it, and they're like, okay, that's when you strap the bomb to Stone and you throw him in through the window and he blows up the courtroom. And then one guy goes, but aren't you going to be in there with a gun already?
Yeah, boss.
Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, no, that sounds right.
I like that the henchman, too, in the planning committee was probably like, since we're going to put Stone in the helicopter with the bomb, like, should we use, like, some metal handcuffs? Like, no, just use some rope.
Yeah, just some cheap rope that you get at Home Depot.
You think we can afford handcuffs with all the money we spend on bullets? Come on, guys.
So Joe's loose in the chopper. He's busted through the rope. And
then he pulls out some hoses and sprays hydraulic fluid on people. Like, what you don't want to do is start yanking on cables when you're in a helicopter, because they're flying death traps.
So he kicks the bomb guy out, and the bomb guy explodes up in the air. It's not a very big explosion.
No, it's not. That wasn't going to work out nice. And it's good, because the boss was in there with a gun already. So this is like one of those happy accidents for the bikers.
Bad plan. So there's a whole fight in the chopper, and the chopper's flying low, and
wait, for no reason. Take it down. Okay. Take it back up. All right. Wait, why am I still in this? I don't know. Why am I in this movie?
This is a crazy thought, but do you think those guys in the chopper were part of a sub-faction of Biker Town who were trying to assassinate Chains for all his insanity, and that's why they were trying to throw a bomb on the building he was in?
So they were on Project Valkyrie?
Yeah. I never thought about it, but I wonder, because they don't fit in. And the pilot guy, he comes in halfway through the movie. He's not part of the main core of biker dudes.
No, Gregory Scott Cummings.
Yeah. Who
also played football.
Quite the theory. I like it. I'm going to run with it. Yep, that's what happened. It also fails, so...
Like you said, I really did like that Stone's first instinct after being released is to just start tearing apart the helicopter with his hands.
He hulks out. And then he jumps out of the chopper, like, that's way, way up in the air.
He jumps off of the helicopter through the skylight.
And the skylight broke his fall.
When you see the outside of the building...
Plate glass saved his ass.
Yeah, no, he died. He didn't make it, right? Because he fell like 30 feet before he hit the glass, and it was another 30 feet to like a marble floor.
He's quite dead.
And then he just hits it like the side of his face, and he's like, looks up like, ugh, I made it. And then starts kicking some ass.
It's really weird too, because they spent like so much effort making like that Ice's face look so cool after the explosion. Like they tried to go for some realism, but then he falls 60 feet off the helicopter. He has no blood on his face, and he just springs up and starts beating up armed people.
who we must already disclaim have killed everybody.
Everybody's already dead.
Chains has gone in. He's grabbed the gun and the jury. He shot everybody there. Everybody.
They've fulfilled their mission of killing the guy,
including Whipperton.
Yeah, and what's next? Who knows? They just got to get out of there.
Now they're shooting all of the cops, all of the FBI agents, all of the National Guardsmen, and Stone is not killing people fast enough.
No.
They are much more efficient at killing, because there's, again, 10,000 of them to take over the Capitol building.
He's just revenging
Yeah.
for a state that he doesn't live in at this point.
Yeah.
Because he's from Alabama. They've already killed everybody. He's just freelancing now.
My favorite part of all of this, where I don't know if like this is a little before or after what you're talking about, but like they pull up this cargo truck like to a loading bay door or something in the Capitol, because the Capitol building is like loading docks, and like they open the door and I thought maybe bombs were going to come out or something, but like it just releases like a horde of bikers on their motorcycles and they just start riding through the Capitol building and shooting everyone. And again, I don't understand what their end goal is.
To kill everybody.
Because, again, like, you're in the heart of the United States government. Like, they're not just gonna let you go.
No.
I like how the bikers are so confident, too, that they're gonna get away with it. They're like, fuck you guys, we're gonna take over America.
Or that their escape plan was the helicopter. And there's like 50 of them on motorcycles. They're not all gonna fit.
No.
And when he's like, oh, Stone Cold's free in the helicopter, they're like, new plan, everybody's on their own. Everybody was on their own.
Yeah. Well, my favorite part of the whole movie happens right here, which is I like to call it the chicken motorcycle chopper explosion.
Ah.
Yeah, where Chains is on the back of the motorcycle and is like, run him over. Stone Cold stands there brave and then shoots the guy in the chest. He flies off the bike. The bike goes through the window into the chopper explosion. You got this movie had to have an exploding chopper in it.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
It does.
It also crashes to the ground and kills like 70 people.
Mm-hmm.
I like how in that scene the chopper the bike flies through the air. It goes into like the open part of the helicopter, which I assume was the plan anyway, and then it explodes.
Uh-huh.
Like it didn't even really seem to impact the side of the helicopter. It just kind of landed in the open doors, which was apparently the plan anyway.
Yeah.
They were gonna fly through the air, land in the helicopter, and I guess jump off before the helicopter skidded off the side. It was a really weird escape plan.
It was, yeah.
Or the bike knew that there wasn't anybody on it, so it just said, fuck it, and blew up.
Yeah, I would have liked it if the bike had gone completely through the chopper and then landed on one of Joe Stone's guys, like either the black FBI guy in charge or Lance or somebody, and just more innocent people dying.
There's plenty of innocent people underneath that helicopter.
I'm just kind of skipping through the last 10 minutes of the film while we're talking.
So many bullets and so many bodies.
Like, there's one point where Joe, like, shoots a guy with a shotgun in the chest that's on a bike. He shoots the guy in the chest and the bike blows up.
Yes. Yeah, he kills Trouble that way. That's how Trouble gets it. Finally.
I didn't learn all their names. I didn't learn all 10,000 of the bike names.
I use IMDb because I've learned my lesson. So, he gets to Chains. Chains is now, ready to blow everybody away, I guess, or like the last of the hostages. I don't know what Chains' end game is, because he's still running around the middle of the Capitol building. He's not trying to get out.
No, he just wants to kill Stone, and that's the end of it for him.
I like the not the tagline, but the one-liner. Imagine the future, because you're not in it. And he punches him down the stairs. But Chains isn't dead. Looks like he lands completely on his neck and dies, but he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Gets up. He's going to shoot Joe. Oh, no!
Lance
shoots him, and he's dead.
And he's got an earring.
Yep.
He knows how to be badass now.
He's gone through the transformation. His journey is complete. From Padawan to Jedi.
Bullshit master.
Yeah. Joe walks off out of the Capitol building.
The long walk shot.
Yeah, the long walk shot. With credits.
Which is great, because it's like the movie doesn't even know what it just did. Like... It's like, look how badass this guy is, and you're like, you realize that you've still put the scope of his destruction in the same shot.
Yeah,
yes?
as he's walking away, things are still exploding, like bodies still falling out of windows.
There's women and children bewildered and scared.
There's people holding their limbs, going, it's like Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, it's awful. It's like the worst disaster in American history is Stone Cold.
Credits. Great film. All right, give me your questions.
I'm going to
guys.
go with my first question. Cunningham is the head of the FBI project that they're on. Do you think that Cunningham gets to keep his job after this?
Yep. Because that's just where the movie takes you.
They promote him to a new post at the ATF.
The movie tells us that this is how it works, that they did a good job. So absolutely, by the rules of this film, he probably gets a promotion.
Oh.
My question is he Joe Huff or is he John Stone?
He's Joe Huff. Stone.
But does he be...
Just a regular John.
Is he actually, in life, John Stone? Is he this badass motorcycle tough guy? And this was just an excuse for him to let his inner douchebag out?
Yeah, so John Stone is the child inside of Joe Huff, the quality boyfriend and lizard owner. Yeah, I guess.
What you got, Jackie?
Is he FBI now? Because they kind of like at the end allude to Lance is like, yeah, you're my partner.
Yeah.
I think so.
He gets promoted?
Yeah. Fuck it. Why not? He did a good job.
Good luck, Florida. You're next.
They're going to sweep the nation. All right, Ryan, what do you got?
I don't have any questions. This movie made sense to me. No, I guess I think my biggest question is at the end of the movie why John Stone looks satisfied like he did something, because really all he did was kill about 4 guys, which is cool, but he didn't stop anything.
He stopped nothing.
Like all the people that he killed would have been killed by the cops anyway. Like he didn't save a single person in this movie, and that's what I want to know how John Stone lives with himself at the end of the day.
The only thing that he prevented was the U.S. government nuking the Capitol building to kill all of the bikers.
Yeah.
My only other question too is I'd like to know, like, I'm curious if the decision to destroy the trailer full of PCP from reaching the streets was worth all the lives lost in that gas station.
the PCP that he put on the streets.
Yeah, it was his
idea.
He did cover up that one little blunder sort of by killing some people at a gas station.
What you got, Sam?
I have an answer to this one.
Uh-oh.
Can you think of a person who was trusted with the safety and protection of others who did a worse job in a movie? I can think of one.
All right, go ahead and just tell us.
Anakin Skywalker.
I was thinking Star Wars.
The
somehow.
only person that's ever done worse than Joe Huff is Anakin Skywalker.
Yes. He was a dupe, though.
Yeah, well...
Joe Huff was just a douchebag.
He's just a douche.
My last question is, do bikers like this movie?
Oh, I don't think so.
Like the Waco nutsacks that shot everybody up at Twin Peaks. Do they watch this film and be like, yeah, bunch of tough guys? Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, they did start using the Viking funeral after this film.
Yeah, that actually leads to my last question.
All right.
So after they shoot Nancy, does she get a Viking funeral? Or do they just throw her in a ditch? Yeah. Like, what happens to her?
I don't think that there's a whole lot of equal rights in biker town.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. So here's my last question. What is the worst biker name ever? Like, you get to this biker town, and obviously these names are nicknames, right, that you get because you're as cold as ice or some bullshit. You got a lot of chains on your bike.
Mudfish? I don't know.
I wrote down Mudbutt.
Mudbutt?
You would not want to be Mudbutt in this game.
Yeah, Mudbutt's a bad nickname.
What do you think, Ryan?
I actually saw there were children in this biker town. I mean, I just assumed these were real names, and these were people raised in biker town. And...
On their birth certificates, it's Shithole Stain. That's terrible. All right, final recommendations. Do we recommend this film to like-minded individuals?
Oh, absolutely. This is fucking cream of the crop for shit.
Yeah,
this thing makes no sense.
I love it.
100 miles an hour.
Jackie?
Don't.
She didn't like it.
Oh, really?
I was just kind of bored with it after a while. I mean, like, yeah, it kind of pulls you back in, but it's not like one of those other movies that we've watched where I kind of start losing interest and I kind of start daydreaming about playing Puzzles and Dragons. And then I'm like, oh, but we're watching a movie, and I get pulled back in by some incredible act. Like, no, I was just waiting for something to happen, and nothing ever did. I mean, this guy was such a blowhole, and the best part about it was that lizard, and he was over in the first 5 minutes.
So if the lizard was in it more and Boz was seen in a mankini more than he was in guest jeans, would you like it?
No, I don't want to see him in the mankini again. That freaked me out. I never want to see that again. But you know what I did want to see is that lizard with a gun.
On the back of the motorcycle.
Yeah, on the back of the motorcycle. That could have been like his sidekick lizard. And that's how he got into the gang.
Mm-hmm.
Check out my sidekick lizard. It can shoot bullets.
If that was the case, they would just make him the leader of the gang.
And then there's no movie. Yeah.
And then you could get like a sweet jacket and shit for the lizard and a little hat and some chains around his neck. So you look all badass. But he would have papers. He would have a little wallet. So that when they got pulled over at the bridge, he'd be like, bam, my lizard's got papers.
Ryan, give us your final thoughts.
I would definitely recommend it as like a good bad movie. The first 6.5 minutes are absolutely insane. The last 20 or so minutes are utterly enjoyable. The action's crazy. I think I agree with Jackie that it slowed down a lot in the middle. Like I said, there were a lot of GTA mission type things that really had no consequence and weren't that interesting. But I also didn't think the movie was completely awful. I mean, it's definitely not a good movie, but I did admire like how they killed the girl, how they that was kind of surprising. I admired that they made at least some effort like to make things slightly realistic, like that dude getting his face blown off. The fights looked at least decently choreographed. I mean, again, it's not a good movie, but it's definitely not nearly as bad as like Birdemic or anything like that, or even The Wicker Man. Like, you could tell they at least tried and had some fun with it, I feel like.
Well, this movie did cost $25 million in 1991.
I'm with Ryan. I about halfway through, I was starting to go, this thing better get kind of crappy because I don't know if I've made a good choice. This may just be a mediocre film, but the ending is just so stupid that I was totally redeemed. But I thought that Lance Henriksen did fine.
He did too good.
I thought William Forsythe did great.
Great.
Boz, not so good of an actor.
No.
But, yeah, there was some not so shitty parts of the film that I was like, oh god, other films would have totally, like, tripped over that part right there and done something completely stupid. But there's a tale that is trying to be told here, and it's dumb, but it's not told poorly.
It just, it goes off the rails, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that lizard was a natural.
Huh.
I'm just stuck on the lizard.
The best way I could sum this up is to say, other than the hilarious first, 5 minutes and utterly insane, catastrophic damage in the last 10 minutes, I considered it just like your kind of run-of-the-mill, just movie that you would see on the middle of the day on TV. Just something to fill the airtime.
Yeah.
It was just an average kind of film, other than those crazy parts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still a good time, though, for me. I liked it. Ryan, where can people find you at, and what can they do to help you out?
You can find me at my blog, which is quietthinker1.wordpress.com. And if you want to help me out, you could probably buy my book Paranoia on Amazon.com. It's an e-novel. It's $2.99. I'd love to hear what people think of it. Always happy to answer questions about it if people read it and have some questions. So those are the two big things. And of course, listen to this amazing Stinker Madness podcast, which you already have. So thank you for that.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining us. You were a great guest. Good to have you, and we'll have you probably again in the future when we pull the trigger on another terrible movie that we think you would like. So we ask all of our guests to close the show out with their best Get to the Chopper. Would you like to deliver yours?
All right, let me give it a shot here. Get to the chopper.
Not bad. I like it.
A little British there, but that's okay.
Yeah, I but I try.
All right, thanks, Ryan. We'll see you guys next week.
Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.